Hello student, again this is Professor Amoles Kalekar from Department of Computer Science CMCS Yodhma. In today's session, we are going to discuss the new point in unit number 4, that is the trends in distributed file system. And the topic that we are going to discuss within this trends in distributed file system is the new hardware. Okay, so students, let's start our discussion with the introduction of these trends in new distributed file system and the new hardware. So, although the rapid change has been a part of the computer industry since its inception, new developments seems to be coming faster than ever in the recent years. Many of these hardware changes are likely to have major impact on the distributed file system of the future. Changing the user's expectations are also likely to have a major impact on this kind of situation. Now we will discuss about some of the changes that can be expected in future, and we will also discuss some of the implication of these changes may have for the file system. Okay, so the first point, that is the new hardware. So before coming to the new hardware, let's look at the older one with the new prices. So as the memory prices goes to be more cheaper and cheaper, we can see a revolution in the way file servers are actually organized. Nowadays, all file servers uses the magnetic disk for their respective storages. Again, the main memory is often used for the server caching, but this is merely an optimization for the kind of better performance. Again, the most recent file system organizes the files as the collection of blocks, either as a tree or as the linked list. With as in-core file system, it may be much simpler to store each file contiguously in memory rather than breaking it up to the blocks or breaking it into the blocks. Now, the continuously stored files are easier to keep track of and can be shipped over the network without any kind of delay. Means we can just ship them more faster. The reason that the contiguous files are not used on the disk is that if a file grows, moving it on an area of the disk with more room is quite expensive. Okay, in contrast, moving a file to another area of the main memory is quite feasible because the main memory file servers introduce a serious problem. Again, if the power fails, all the files are now will be lost. Here, a hardware development that may affect the file system is the optical disk. Originally, these devices had the property that they could be written once but not changed thereafter, and they are often called as the worm, that is read once and write once and read many devices, that is worm. Okay, some kind of current optical disk uses the lasers to affect the crystal structure of the disk but do not damage them, so they can be crash. Okay, so the optical disk have three major important properties. First one is they are slow, they have huge storage capacities, and they have the random access. They are relatively cheap, although more expensive than the tape devices. Okay, or you can say the video tapes. Another interesting hardware development is very fast fabric optic networks. It might become feasible to get rid of the client's cache and the server's disk and just operate out of the server's memory. So again, when studying the client caching, we have seen that a large fraction of trouble is caused by the fact that if two clients are caching the same file and one of them modified it, the other does not discover this, which leads to the kind of inconsistency. A little thought will reveal that in such kind of situation is highly analogous to memory caches in multiprocessor system. Only there, when one processor modifies a shared word, a hardware signal is sent over the memory bus to the other caches to allow them to invalidate or update that particular word. And with the distributed file system, this is not done. Okay. So, as an example, consider the system that you can see in the given figure. Here, to modify a file, a processor says the corresponding bit in the interface, which is 0, and if no processor is currently updating the file. Setting a bit causes the interface to create and send a packet around the ring that checks and sets the corresponding bit in all kind of interfaces. So by just visualizing this figure, you can see how this actually works. So students, these are some of the points as far as the new hardware in the trends in distributed file system is concerned. Thank you.